Welcome, everybody, to Stories and Songs with the Down East Boys. We're glad you're with us. Here's a great song you're going to love. That would be amazing.
If there's anybody out there who has never found the Lord, and you feel a gentle tugging that you've never felt before, this could be the chance to make your life worthwhile. This could be the night you finally walk the aisle. That would be amazing grace into your life. That would be forgiveness, making all things right. A sinner's prayer could lead you to a heart that's filled with praising. That would be amazing. If there's anybody out there who is listening to my voice, let me say you won't regret it. You won't make a better choice. So just listen to the knocking at the door. Come and find a peace you've never known before. That would be amazing grace into your life. That would be forgiveness, making all things right. A sinner's prayer could lead you to a heart that's filled with praising. That would be amazing. That would be amazing grace into your life. That would be forgiveness, making all things right. A sinner's prayer could lead you to a heart that's filled with praising. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
And I believe here's what we need in our churches today. You're going to like this song. Listen.
I believe in the church today. We've grown accustomed to a lack of praise. And I'm afraid we think that it's supposed to be this way. I'm here to tell you that I believe that's not the way it has to be. 'Cause when you think of all the Lord has done for you and me, then this ought to be what happens in this place. Somebody ought to say amen. Somebody ought to lift their hands. Somebody ought to stand and shout that they are glad they're born again. Somebody ought to shed a tear. Thank the Lord that they are here. Somebody ought to come to this old altar while the Lord is near. And Lord, I pray today somebody is me. If we ever really want to see old-time revival like there used to be, then my friend, it's gonna have to start with you and me. We need to stop all this looking around, waiting for someone to make a sound. 'Cause if Jesus saved your soul and you are heaven bound, then that ought to be enough to praise our King. Somebody ought to say amen. Somebody ought to lift their hands. Somebody ought to stand and shout that they are glad they're born again. Somebody ought to shed a tear. Thank the Lord that they are here. Somebody ought to come to this old altar while the Lord is near. And Lord, I pray today somebody is me. say somebody ought to lift their hands. Somebody ought to stand and shout that they are glad they're born again. Somebody ought to get real blessed when they think about the Lord's goodness. Somebody ought to thank the Father that He sent us heaven's best. And Lord, I pray today somebody is me. Somebody is me. And Lord, I pray today somebody is me. Lord, let it start with me.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Stories and Songs with the Down East Boys. This is Doug, the tenor singer, Alex, the bass singer. This is Caden, the baritone. I'm Ricky, and I sing the lead part, and we're so glad to have you with us today. We're talking about stories and songs, as the title says, and today we wanted to talk about a song that's been really a popular song for us, and maybe some of the folks have heard it, Testimony Time.
Testimony Time.
Written by Sandy Knight, who's a great songwriter. And Sandy is a wonderful lady and been writing songs for years. And Sandy, when she sent me this song, she said, I've written this song that's about my church and my life, really, and how she grew up. And when we heard this, we all said the same thing. We grew up in the same kind of situation.
Absolutely.
I grew up in a little church in the foothills of North Carolina, and I remember people getting up in the middle of our service, sometimes the beginning, even sometimes at the end, and sharing testimonies about their life, about what God was doing in their life, and how it was, it changed our service.
Absolutely.
And I believe we realize that when we praise Him, when we lift Him up, it changes us. And so I know we've all grew up in churches like that. Probably you did as well in your church.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I feel like testimony time is really important. It's something we've lost in some churches today.
Absolutely.
We, back home at my little church we went to, Green Lawn Baptist in Eastman, Georgia, I remember Brother Dan would get up and he'd say, it's time for testimony time. And even though it was a Baptist church, several people would get up and testify about what the Lord had done. You know, you'd hear about people having answered prayer from being healed from various diseases, cancer, things like that.
Sure.
And it let people know that the Lord is still at work in churches today and in people's lives today. I think it's important we do that because, like you said earlier, it changes our service.
It does.
Well, in the Word, does it not say that He inhabits the praises of His people? Right?
Exactly.
If you want the Lord to show up in your services and you want things to change,
Lift Him up.
lift Him up. That's exactly
Lift Him
right.
up. Caden, your grandpa is a preacher, and I'm sure even at your age, you remember times like that in services.
Well, even when I was small and I first started going to church, you know, it kind of was, I don't really want to say wild to me, but being so small, I didn't know anything about anything.
Sure.
You know, and all of a sudden there'd be music going and I'd hear people start to shout and then everything would be over. I want to get up and tell what God's done for me.
Yeah.
And I heard that all my life. And as I got older, hearing that more and more, when God started knocking on my own heart, I'm like, you know, these people are telling just how good God's been to them, about how much He's filled them with joy and peace. I want some of that.
Absolutely.
I want to have what those guys are talking about and shouting about because these people look happy. And when I finally made the move to give my life to Jesus, everything just came full circle. Now I'm in the same spot as those people I saw were when I was little. I'm the one that's in church all the time, getting up shouting, talking about how good God's been to me. I don't deserve anything. And I'm just thankful that I was brought up in a good church where people weren't afraid to get up and make what God's done for them known.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm thankful
Alex,
for it.
man, I know you've got a testimony. God's been good to all of us. I think we could all sit here and say, man, our families, moms and dads, He's blessed our group.
Absolutely.
A testimony from you just for the folks out there. Tell them how good God's been to you.
God's been really good to me in these past 21 years of me singing, traveling. I have to agree with Doug. Even 10 years ago, the churches were different.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You would see people stand up, testify, and we've kind of gone away from that. And I really believe that the churches need to stand up, especially this day and time, and bring testimony time back into our churches.
Well, I believe that. And you know what? We've experienced it some on the road singing, and people, we've had people stand up. I remember one night in South Carolina,
Oh, yeah.
a lady stood up and she began to talk about the loss of her husband and how God had comforted her in her situation. And maybe some of you watching today are dealing with those same kind of issues. You're dealing with something at home and it's been a tough battle for you. Let me tell you to look at the other side of that as well and look at how good God's been to you, how good it's been in your life, and praise Him for that. And I believe those kind of situations in our lives, we will grow from it if we'll keep thinking and dwelling on the goodness of God, not where we are at this very moment, because we're all going to go through something.
Sure.
We've all sat on the bus and talked about going through things in our lives. Parents who are getting older, my parents have been dealing with some health things. These guys have dealt with things. You've dealt with things in your family life. And so we're all going to see those things. But in the middle of those places in our lives, man, we concentrate on the goodness of God. We concentrate on how He's taken care of us and how He'll continue to take care of us. And I believe when we do that, I believe it'll change our life. It's certainly changed ours. Perspective is everything. And so we just challenge you today, hey, keep lifting Him up, keep believing, keep praying, and keep holding on. And don't be afraid to share some testimony.
That's right.
Man, go to church Sunday and share a testimony about how good God's been in your life and watch it as it changes your life. Here's a song that Sandy wrote, and it's talking about that testimony time. And I think you guys are going to like this today. You listen to Sandy Knight's song called Testimony Time.
Sing it, Alex.
A church was in prayer meeting, the saints had all assembled. The preacher stood to open up the floor, and he shouted, it's time to praise the Savior's name. Lift your voice and give Him praise, 'cause if it takes all night, it's testimony time. Come gather round and spread the news, tell what the Lord has done for you. Let the whole world know that God is good. Come on, it's testimony time. The devil will be left behind. We're more than overcomers when it's time to testify. Then a dear old brother stepped out, came down the aisle shouting, from a dread disease my Lord delivered me. And he shouted, it's more than I can comprehend how the good Lord gave me. And beginning to take all night, it's testimony time. Testimony time. Then a dear sweet sainted sister declared God heard her praying. Her wandering child had finally seen the light. And she shouted, I just can't keep it to myself. My child has just been saved from hell. And if it takes all night, hey, I'm gonna shout and testify. Come gather round and spread the news. Tell what the Lord has done for you. Let the whole world know that God is good. Good. Come on, it's testimony time. The devil will be left behind. We're more than overcomers when it's time to testify. Come gather round and spread the news. Tell what the Lord has done for you. Let the whole world know that God is good. He's good. Come on, it's testimony time. The devil will be left behind. We're more than overcomers when it's time to testify. Come on, it's testimony time. The devil will be left behind. We're more than overcomers when it's time to testify. Oh, come on, let's testify. Come on.
Here's a song we leave you with today. I love this song. And maybe somebody's in the valley today. If you are, I pray He's going to make it a beautiful valley. Listen.
In this beautiful valley that He's put me in, I'm learning to trust and draw strength from Him. I'll not despise the lessons He gives, for in this beautiful valley I'm learning to live. The shadows around can't hide the sun or hold back the dawning of a new day to come. Walking beside me is Jesus, God's Son, and He'll ever be with me till the testing is done. In this beautiful valley that He's put me in, I'm learning to trust and draw strength from Him. I'll not despise the lessons He gives, for in this beautiful valley I'm learning to live. When there's a lesson for learning, He'll take you aside to walk in the valley, close by your side. Up on the mountain, sweet blessings He gives, but down in the valley is where we learn to live. In this beautiful valley that He's put me in, I'm learning to trust and draw strength from Him. I'll not despise the lessons He gives, for in this beautiful valley I'm learning to live. I'll not despise the lessons He gives, for in this beautiful valley I'm learning to
Welcome back, friends, and thanks for joining us on another episode of Stories and Songs with the Down East Boys. Man, today was fun. I enjoyed today. We had good songs. I hope the folks enjoyed, and a good testimony of just sharing the goodness of God, and I hope we've challenged you to do that today. Our website is downeastboys.com. Facebook. Everybody does Facebook now. Everybody's on Facebook posting pictures and grandbabies. And do you go on Facebook?
Yes,
You're always on. All the young people.
We're always on it.
All the young people on
Constantly
Facebook.
connected.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Facebook is Down East
Boys Quartet.
Down East Boys Quartet. So Down East Boys Quartet
All one
Facebook.
word.
And then some of you do Instagram. I don't
East
do
Boys.
it. Down East Boys
On Instagram.
And some people do other things. I don't know about all this
Hey,
stuff.
we have a
so
YouTube now.
YouTube.
That's right.
We do. That's right.
Down East Boys.
Down East Boys. So you can go see all of us again singing these songs. And so, hey, we've had a good day. It's been awesome. We appreciate you being with us. And we hope you'll join us next week for more great songs and more great stories about the songs. We look forward to coming back into your home. Tell your friends about us. Hey, tell everybody about the Down East Boys program, Stories and Songs. And it's going to be awesome next week. So come back and be with us next week, all right? Here's a song we'll leave you with today. I think you're going to like this one. It's a toe tapper, we call it. Clap your hands even at home, all right?
In those moments, I can feel the sunshine. It isn't hard at all to keep the faith. But on those days, when valleys bring me shadows, I need to be reminded how my life was changed. My sin calls my Lord across because he interceded to take my place and offer graces when a love succeeded. He guarantees his work in me will one day be completed. That's just what I needed. He has promised he will never leave me, and nothing separates me from his hand. I count upon his boundless love and mercy. He took care of my future one day in the past. My sin he calls my Lord across because he interceded to take my place and offer graces when a love succeeded. He guarantees his work in me will one day be completed. That's just what I needed. His ways are always greater than mine. Just like that day at Calvary, he always provides. My sin it cost my Lord a cross because he interceded to take my place and offer graces when a love succeeded. He guarantees his work in me will one day be completed. That's just what I needed. Sin cost my Lord a cross because he interceded to take my place and offer graces when a love succeeded. He guarantees his work in me will one day be completed. That's just what I needed. That's just what I needed. That's just what I needed.